we understand that imaging can produce terabytes of data in a couple of hours and days. But let's not only focus on microscopy, but also other intensity in data intensive intense research fields like whole genome sequencing, mass spectrometry, and single cell sequencing, where we see the production of multiple hundreds of gigabytes per day. And these fill up the acquisition PCs and control computers quite quickly. And this is just the raw data. So what about processing and analysis? So coming from this field, we really understand how and often the pain with the raw data grows over time, and how this is often not really well managed in an institution or a facility, and what the pain points are. So overflowing, as I said, with hundreds of gigabytes of data being produced every day, data management in these acquisition computers is always a huge challenge. Then you would have, for example, limited network speed to transfer data from the acquisition computer to a workstation, and then later on to your laptop to write a paper, for example. So data movement is often a multiple step process and often bidirectional, going back and forth, adding multiple copying tasks. Also, users will plug in USB hard drives or HDD drives, and this is not really safe for any environment. Also, if you have multiple data sets on multiple hard drives, it's really hard to track, localize, and manage, with the added risk of not having a redundancy of your data. And if a hard drive is broken, then you have a loss of your maybe really important data set. And as I said, multiple copying steps can affect the efficiency. So in total, you want to reduce the amounts of movement of the data with limited throughput, especially if you think about cloud-based storage where upload is really crippled, and you want to increase the efficiency of the data transfer. This is where the concept of the Hive comes into place. So on the Hive, we position a central computer into your facility. We connect the Hive to all the different acquisition microscopes and control PCs via a high performance network connection. So the Hive will be a central component in the imaging facility. You then can access your data and do processing on the Hive directly via a VPN and remote desktop from basically anywhere in the world. Being that in home office, wanting to get last image from your data set for the presentation, or even while traveling or in remote locations. In terms of the concept of the Hive, it's set up in a nice niche between, let's say, control PC / workstation and cluster computing, cloud and cloud computing. In terms of setup, administration, scalability, parallelized workflows, and users performance. So the setup for the Hive will always be local in your institution, but you have remote access, as I said, basically anywhere where there is internet access. The administration is done by yourself, by an administrator of the Hive, but with our software and our intense support, you do the administration yourself and define who are the users and who has access to what data. In terms of increasing the size and performance, we have a modular concept with data modules that can be added, as well as computational performance. We have a multi-user accessibility of the Hive with multiple GPUs dedicated to individual softwares and multi-core CPUs for parallelized processing. And in terms of performance, the Hive can be upgraded over time. The limit is basically just the budget that is available for computational processing, but there we are working in close cooperation with you to define the specification of the Hives so that you get the best performance for your project and for your research. The Hive is set up in a quite modular way, and in the center there's always the Hive core, where we have the high performance data processing. The second module would be the Hive data. This is where in a safe RAID 6 system, the data is stored for intermediate and long-term storage, but remaining high accessibility. With the HiveNet, you have a data hub which connects basically the Hive core to any established and any microscope control computers. With the Hive GPU, you can expand power computing and AI processing capabilities. A Hive SAT would be a local workstation that can encapsulate processes and be an on-site workstation. With the Hive Backup, we provide a solution for off-site data storage for long term.